Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, some white dude got on a video over there on TikTok and decided to believe he had the right to tell us what to do. And we need to get back out in the streets and we need to do this and need to do that. No, we don't need that from you. Mm-mm. At the end of the day, everything that's going on out here, your people have caused this whole thing. You have. And, you know, the way I see it, you should be addressing your own people anyway. Wasn't it people that look like you that took out Renee Good and Alex Preddy? Nobody that looked like us did that. Okay. Nobody. That was your people. Number two, y'all are falling apart. Look at how bad things are in America. It is bad all over. Everything financially, America is doing bad. With jobs, people are always, I mean, there's not a day that don't go by where people are complaining that they can't find jobs. Those are economic things. You have been the ones in charge all this time. So if everything is turning sour, doesn't that fall back on you folks that claim you are dominant and everything, which you're not, you're recessive, but you run around here claiming you some master race and everything. Well, it all falls back on you. You've been the one in charge all this time, right? Y'all need to learn how to go down with the ship. That's what I'm, because you are going down. You are going down. This place is declining fast. I knew it was going to decline. Many of us knew it was going to decline, but man, it's like decline plus acceleration tenfold for real. So I love how our people came back at this guy. He had a lot of nerve. He did a video saying that they were coming after us too, and that's why we need to be out there. Then he proceeds to show some Somalian woman that got detained for 2 days, trying to claim that's our people. That's not our people, buddy. That's not our people. And I'd appreciate it if you would never address us again. You are the last people that should be addressing us for any reason. And that is for real. You are the last people that should be addressing us. So, y'all, let me go ahead and share my screen so you can hear what this dude had to say. But like I said, I'm glad that our people did not let this slide at all. Please give me a one if you see my screen. Well, see, everybody wants us in the street. See, number one, white people are not used to being, you know, just erased by the authorities like they have experienced since Ice been in Minnesota. Number two, they never had to fight the system like we did. Our people all throughout history always fought this system, always fought the racism, always fought our people being unalive. These folks, they never had to do it like we have. That's why when they go out there, they're not making no impact, if you notice. When we step on the streets, it is on a news cycle, probably for the rest of the week that we stepped on the streets. Well, now that we aren't out there, see, these people are now fighting the system all by themselves. We're not there. And they want us to take the brunt of, the abuse out here. And being that we're not there, they have to now take the abuse and fight the system and fight white supremacy and do it all on their own. And really, If anybody should be in the streets fighting the system, it should be white people because y'all set this place up. Now, all of a sudden, you're so unsatisfied with the way things are. Really, nobody should be out there but you, as far as I'm concerned. And this dude, he don't need to open his mouth to us ever again, for real. Y'all got enough problems in the white community that you should be dealing with. Stop worrying about us. All right, y'all. Thank you for the ones.
For all the Black Americans saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that they're kidnapping Black Americans too, right? And they're just saying, oh, we thought they were African. We thought they were illegal immigrants.
Oh, look at this cracker trying to educate black people like we don't already fucking know this. Isn't it kind of ironic? We are now being educated by the same people that told us systematic racism didn't exist, the same people that told us black people were just lazy and that's why they don't get jobs, the same people that thought this system was actually working up until this fucking point. For me, it's them being condescending while they're the ones that don't know their own fucking history. These are the same people that are comparing ICE to the Gestapo instead of comparing it to Jim Crow to what it actually is. And that's because a lot of white people stay in their own fucking bubble. They don't know shit about black history. They don't know shit about what we go through. So now that they see they're the ones being actually affected, they're going to be like, well, you know, black people, you're actually being affected by this if you didn't know. We've always fucking known because we've always been the reason they do shit. They fucking hate us. You think we don't fucking know that?
For all the Black Americans saying ICE isn't our problem,
Nah. Black people are on vacation. White people, you fix this.
for all the Black Americans saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that they're kidnapping Black Americans too, right? And they're just saying, oh, we thought they were African. We thought they were illegal immigrants. And then they will detain you for days, sometimes weeks, so that they can have their way with you in the ICE detention center while they
Wrong message, even worse messenger. We do not ever need a white person in this country to tell us what is at stake when it comes to the government, police enforcement, and how police enforcement can cause harm to Black Americans. My father sat me down when I was 15 years old because I started to look like a man and taught me how to interact with police. Every Black family teaches their Black sons how to interact with the police. Every Black family talks to their daughters about how to interact with the police. So for every conversation we have a Sandra Bland, Belendo Castile, Eric Gardner, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, Sonia Massey, Rodney King. I can go back decades, I can go back centuries to tell you how Black people are acutely aware of our relationship with law enforcement and the government. My grandmother was the first person in her family to buy a house in New York, and she moved into a white neighborhood. And you know what they did? They threw things at her house. They burned her garbage. They tried to push her out, all because she was Black and they didn't want her around. And every time the cops came, what did the cops do? Agitate my grandmother and grandfather, not the other way around. So no, sir. You do not need to tell Black people that we need to be going out on the street and fighting ICE, because Black people have never not fought to survive and live in this country, which is our right. Traditions in this country have been perpetuated and propagated by white people. White people are the only people that can fix it. This is your time to shine. This is your time to stand up. Black people have been fighting since slavery. The fact that you see us occupying spaces, owning homes, being doctors, being lawyers, graduating school is all because of a fight that has never ended. The fight has never ended for Black people. So the fact that you think you as a white man can come on Beyonce's internet and tell Black people what they need to be fighting for, it's so lost on you how you don't understand American history and how you don't understand intrinsically American culture. Because in order for us to exist in the capacity we exist in 2026, that is from a centuries long fight. You guys go out and do the work. You go out and fight your representatives. You go out and make noise at Capitol Hill. You go out and demand change. But don't ever come online and tell Black people what they need to be fighting for.
For all the Black Americans saying ICE isn't our problem, you do realize that
Breaking news, everyone. A fork was found in a kitchen. Because what are you even talking about? This has been happening to us. We've been getting illegally detained, targeted, profiled, killed. Where have you been? Because none of this is new to any of us. And that young lady, while what happened to her was definitely unfortunate, she's Somali American. And they will tell you from their own mouths that they're not Black. And I, for one, and a lot of Black people, we have absolutely zero concerns about being deported. My family has probably been here longer than yours. So the only place they could send me is back to New Jersey. So do us all a favor and just leave Black Americans the fuck alone.
ICE isn't our problem.
Nah. Black people are.
This is no time to be racist, gentlemen. Besides, what do you think will happen if we continue to segregate ourselves? That's right. Nothing. We the people means all.
Racist. You, a white lady, is calling me racist for saying Black people aren't divided and white people need to fix themselves before asking Black people for anything. And then I ask, explain where the racism is, please. To which you said something very interesting. You say, talking about our Black and brown brethren like they're not in the room. The white savior syndrome is the epitome of racism. Our country is dying. Skin tone does not matter. I was going to turn this into a funny skit for some laughs, but I'm genuinely curious. I'm genuinely curious on how, in your white mind, talking about Black people when they're not present, how that in itself is racist. How Black people aren't divided and white people need to fix themselves before asking Black people for anything. I would like you to break down how saying that is racist in your own white words. But I'm also curious, how is talking about them in the room and the white savior syndrome is the epitome of racism? I'm genuinely curious, and I'm asking. So if you can, please, in your own white lady words, explain how any of this was racist.
I actually don't have a single friend who is like thrilled with how their husband is reacting to all this. Most of them are describing their husbands as ostriching, sticking their heads in the sand and pretending like nothing is happening. Meanwhile, my friends, their wives, are trying to figure out, how are we going to continue normal life for our children through this? How are we going to prepare and protect ourselves? And their husbands are like, stop being so emotional. You're overreacting. I mean, do we see what's happening? Hello. It's time to wake up. Protect your family. Like, my friends are losing complete faith in their partners at this point.
So ironic to see white women on the internet talking about how the white men are not sticking up for their families and they're not protecting their families because they saw how that queer lady was unalived by that ICE officer, child. My whole thing is like, you all literally would have picnics called picnic of pick a nigga. After you all's church services, you all would go and hang Black people And this was happening in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and even in the 60s. And there was a few black men that was hung, unfortunately, in 2025. So we're not going to sit up here and act like white women don't have a hand in all of the atrocities that have been caused and perpetuated by white men. Y'all after they come with the white hoods, they come home, y'all make them dinner, y'all freak them down, y'all bear their children, y'all raise them, they come from your womb. So why are you so surprised? Now it only matters because you feel like you're being directly affected. This has been happening, but y'all never gave a damn because you felt like it had nothing to do with you. The irony of it all. So I gotta keep saying, like, these clear women, they get to try to hide under the guise of the patriarchy. They get to hide under the guise of the patriarchy and make it seem like, oh, but we're women. Oh, but it's just the white teen man. Oh, but it's not us. And it's like, no, y'all are still, not all, but some of y'all are still very much so racist. So, like I was saying, a lot of white women are blatantly racist. The first serial unaliver was a white woman. Like, y'all ever seen American Horror Story? It was one of the seasons with the coven. I can't remember, but it was a white woman that was literally torturing and unaliving Black people, specifically women and children, in the basement of her house. I think her name was Marie Laveau. I'm not exactly sure, but I feel like this was happening in New Orleans. These women literally have raised school powers. Like, your first godlike entity that you know when you come into this physical plane is your mom. So I don't understand how, I don't know what type of magic, what type of glamour magic, to whereas they keep getting absolved and they keep getting grace and no one is ever like pointing the finger at them or looking at them for their role and what they've played and how things are. But no, bitch, y'all is just as guilty, if not more, because women have a lot of power. Oftentimes, women are the puppeteers. And I hate to blame women for the actions of men, so I'm not going to sit up here and do that. However, they raise white men. They're the enablers. They coddle them. They give birth to them. So, and they also, I got to keep bringing this up at every chance I get. When you see the pictures of Ruby Bridges and other children, teenagers integrating into white schools in the 50s and 60s, there were predominantly white women out there screaming obscenities at little kids. So for them now, fast forward, like calling them the N-word, doing all types of, we could really go into it, all right? But fast forward now to 2026, everybody's like making it seem like, oh, look at what's going on. This is like Nazi Germany. Like, bitch, no, this is like the United States of America a few decades ago. What the fuck are we talking about? Your meemaws and your peepaws was out in the streets running Black people up out of the neighborhoods. The police been fucking brutally attacking us and profiling us. And now we're not the main target and everybody's crying saying, woe is me. And I'm just looking around like, I don't know, but the white women in the comments was popping and saying that they was getting divorces and all types of shit was going on. So we gonna see how this play out. And Sprella is the Wiggle way.
You know why you're not seeing a lot of Black people out there protesting against ICE? You know why you're seeing predominantly white people only at these events? It's because back in 2020, the Democrats utilized the Black demographic to go out and riot and act a fool. And they said, oh, if you just elect us, we'll give you reparations and we'll force the police to wear body cameras and all these wonderful, amazing things, right? So Black people showed up like we are known to do, and we voted up and down for one side of the aisle. And what did we get for it? Nothing as usual, because many of us never learned. But now, here in 2026, we're seeing individuals who were slavishly devoted to the Democrat Party. Now they're seeing the Democrats over their entire 4 years in office under Joe Biden. They went out of their way to ingratiate themselves to illegal immigrants. And they sometimes prioritized illegal immigrants, even in Black communities, ahead of Black American citizens. And Black people are sitting there saying, wait, you said you were going to give us reparations, you're going to give us X, Y, and Z, and we got nothing for it. So the silver lining is a lot of people are waking up and realizing the Democrats are only courting their next prospective voting bloc. They want to exploit illegal immigrants for an entire generation, much like they exploited the Black community for the previous several generations. And they're daring you to call them out on that and see it for what it is. So if you're wondering why you only see predominantly white liberals out here acting a fool, rioting and protesting against ICE, it's because ICE is threatening their ability to cater to that next demographic that they desperately want to lock in for an entire generation. And that's just the God's honest truth. Those are my thoughts. Hopefully you agree. And if you do, let me know in the comment section down below.
What do you think about the illegals coming and taking disproportionately affecting the black community? Taking
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, they need to go. They need to go.
So when the black community is working and you got Democrats saying they care about the black community, but they're importing more illegals,
Yeah, they need to go. They definitely need to go. These jobs need to be for the American-born people. They need to go.
Wow. It was bad enough. It was bad enough when the illegals were all online, and it's been all of them. All of them want our support. Now, white people, y'all trying to tell us what to do online? I don't think so. I don't think so. At the end of the day, we already said we're not going out there. You need to accept that and move on. We already told the illegals that. Now we're telling you that. Accept it and move on. Y'all created this situation. Y'all wanted Donald Trump in. You knew what Donald Trump was. You knew what Donald Trump said. The only reason why people like this white dude is up in arms is because they never thought the Trump administration would turn on them. And they have indeed turned on their own people. So y'all deal with this thing. Y'all deal with it. Nobody should be dealing with it more than the white community. That's how I see it. So, no, don't make no more videos telling us what's happening to us because we were snatched and kidnapped. We have been taken. Look at the missing persons in this country. Is overwhelmingly our people. Our people are always getting snatched. So for you to get on a video talking about we're next, dude, please shut the hell up and leave us the F alone. You shouldn't have anything to say to us. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. I do have some upcoming lives. So, this is one of many. So, Ilhan Omar, and I'm going to be doing that one next. She did a town hall, and a white man got up and sprayed her with some kind of substance. And I don't know what it was, but the people that were there in the room when it happened said it had a horrible odor. It had a really bad odor. And they were trying to get her to leave, but she wouldn't. She wanted to finish the town hall. So we'll be looking at that at 1:45. I will see you then. Thank you so much for being here and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Shalom, family.